Hello and welcome. We'd like to welcome you for Global Probe Study through GRRSP. This is Dr. Rahul Kashyap, and now I'd like to start our team's introduction. We'll start with Aman Sandhu, Sania, Faisal, Zara, Priyal, and Smitesh. Let's go in that order.
Hello, everyone. My name is Aman Sandhu. I am a second-year medical student at the Drexel University College of Medicine, and thank you so much for being here today. We're very happy to have you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining. We appreciate your participation. My name is Sania Alani, and I'm a second-year medical student at Drexel College of Medicine in Philadelphia, U.S.
Hello, everyone. Great to see so many faces. This is Dr. Faisal Nawaz joining in from Dubai, and I am one of the research faculty members as well as mentors for this project. Looking forward to working with you in the next 1 hour.
Zara? Go ahead, Zara.
Am I audible, Dr. Kashyap? I'm so sorry.
Yep, now you are.
Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Zara Arshad, and I'm very happy to have you all here today. We are seeing a lot of strength here, which is 45 people already. We are looking forward to a lot more. Happy to get this started.
Priyal?
Hi everyone, my name is Priyal Mehta. I am an internal medicine residency applicant for this year. I'm very excited to be here. We are really looking forward to such great participation in this amazing study.
Dr. Perte?
And lastly, hello everyone. I'm Dr. Smitesh Parte. Again, I'm joining from Mumbai, and again one of the faculties at GRRSP, and really looking forward for this amazing project to get it off the ground and hit it running. Great to see all of you here.
Fantastic. So those who are joining in, we were just doing introduction who will be helping run the show today. We'll do three things. I think next thing we will do it is do a little bit of housekeeping and orientation, what we would like you to do in terms of setting up your computer and things like that. And then second is like some of us will walk you through the actual project of instructions. We have not given any instructions before this, so this is gonna be pretty neat exercise to do it. And then in the end, we will invite all of you to ask questions, questions about collaborative co-authorship, questions about this pilot project, because we will follow up this project sometime in March with a full-blown project. This is going to be our pilot just to test the feasibility and some of the initial questions. And then if you have any questions about GRRSP, we'll be able to answer them in the end as well. So we'll do these three things. With that, I would like to see if Sania or Aman, are we ready with the initial orientation slide, or we want to do a verbal orientation about what we want them to set up?
I have something I can show everyone.
Sounds good, and you should be allowed to do it now. Is it okay if I say a couple of things to people who are joining in? So we like you to join this project from your computer. That is the one thing we would like you to say, because if you join from a computer, it'll be easy for you to manage and flow the process. If you have two screens, that's even better. So you can keep open the Zoom window here, go through the instructions, and keep your second screen as we will give you the instructions and possible. If you don't have two screen, you can split your screen and then move forward with that. It's going to be easy that you can keep the half screen for Zoom, this meeting, and half screen for the work you are doing, especially on search criteria. And if you feel like you can join the Zoom from, join this meeting from your phone and still open up your computer, you don't need to share anything with us. As far as you can listen to our instructions and hear what we are saying, and replicate those things in your computer, most likely your laptop or desktop, doesn't matter if Mac or Windows computer, that will be the most ideal situation. So just to repeat, those who are joining in, we just quickly introduce ourselves, and we are now going into the initial housekeeping instructions to see what you need to do as you start with as well. And we have never given these instructions before, so it's absolutely okay. Ask your questions in the chat box. We are monitoring those chat box. Now, Aman is going to walk you through with a little bit of housekeeping. Then we'll do the introduction of the project, then demographic, and then few things as we go through in this regard. So first housekeeping item, Aman, all yours.
All right, everybody. So just like Dr. Kashyap said, we prefer that you start this survey on either a desktop or laptop computer, just so that you won't have any technical issues during this demonstration. So if everyone is good with that, next thing I'd like everyone to do is open an incognito tab. If for those who are not familiar, it's essentially a fresh tab where your previous search history does not influence your new searches. So you're essentially wiping your search history without wiping it. Instructions, if you don't know how to do that, if you're on Windows, for my participants, you would hit Control, Shift, and N at the same time. And for anybody who's on a Mac, you would hit Command, Shift, N. And then you should have a screen that looks something like this when you open it up. And now we'd like you to open the survey. We all should have this link now. Please drop any questions in the chat if you have any concerns. We're here to help.
And so this is good. As you are doing this part, let me trade what we're exactly doing it. So our goal is today, we all know that based on what we have searched on internet, it affects our further search results. So that's why this is important for us to go into incognito mode. If you can, if you can't, just check no when we go to that section. Our goal is to test the biases in internet search, especially for medical health issues or global health issues. So by removing this previous search history bias, we might be able to see if there's still a bias based on where you are located, which country, which place, what gender, what race, what ethnicity, and things like that. So this is very important for you to, as you're joining in, the goal for this study is to make sure that we look into this particular question. If there's bias exists, even after taking away the incognito tab or private browsing tab as we go through. We have, I think, 5 or 6 medical related question, one global health question, and one LLM, chat GPT, or anything else related as well. So that's why it makes it a pretty cool project as we go through. I think there is a link being posted in the chat box. If you have gone through your incognito test, you can actually copy that link, which says tiny URL. We are reposting it now for those who are joining in, and we'll keep posting it in case you join a little bit late. Copy paste that link into your incognito tab. That's the first thing you should be doing it. And then we will walk through the first demographic section of it. And once you have gone through the incognito tab, there's Aman, it can open it up. You can look into those 3 dots on the side and then right click those 3 dots and then say open private or incognito window. That's one of the easiest way to do it. Otherwise, follow Control, Shift, and N, and Command, Shift, and N based on which computer you're using it. I think that's most important thing, like why you're spending Saturday morning with us, like 60 minutes. Why? So the question is, what is in it for you? This is, you are helping research for sure. GRSP has been very transparent in giving collaborative co-authorship or other authorship if you're interested in joining the writing groups as well. What does collaborative co-authorship means is we'll address that in the end as well. So stay tuned. Goal is that you help the project. It gives you some ideas. You can go ahead and do your own projects. You can collaborate with us and or just be a collaborative co-author when the publications comes out of it. We'll walk through that process and then we will discuss these questions and differences between all of these things as well. We are excited. This is our project. Of course, we have to be excited, but bringing you all many familiar faces, previous GRSP alumni and faculty members, it's always a privilege in a new year. So that is something we would like to bring in. I think next is, as we go through, we would like Aman, you or Priyal to finish this part. Maybe Aman, you're going to finish this part and then Priyal will take over for demographics.
Yep. Okay, all right. So everyone who's not everyone who just tuned in, we just opened an incognito tab. If you can look in the chat, we posted the form link for the Google survey. So we just began. Now, once you're in the incognito tab and you've opened our survey in there, the next steps are easy. All you have to do is confirm that you're using an incognito tab and just let us know which browser you're using. So in my case, I would be using Google Chrome, Mac user Safari, Firefox, etc., whatever applies to you. So next, I'll hand it over to Priyal, and we'll talk about demographics.
Thank you, Aman. So I'll take a moment for you to, for everyone to start filling in the form right now. We'll start with our names. The first, your given name, as well as your last name in the first question. Please, everyone, start filling in right now so that we can continue throughout the process while we are going through it on the screen. Yeah. Next is your current location from where you are joining in from right now. So you can select any from the drop-down column. Perfect. Got it. Next would be your gender. Yep. We have another question for your race or ethnicity. There are approximately, I think, 13 to 15 options available. Please choose one that is applicable to you. Okay, we can go on ahead with the institution you work at or study. Please choose the one that is applicable to you as well. If you don't have any, we can add it as the other column here. The next question is what your professional career stage is currently. So we have the pre-medical students, the medical students, residents of fellows, the paramedical staff, researcher, or anything else that might be applicable to you. Please write it down.
Priyal, there was a question from somebody that the Palestine country was not showing up, but that has been updated now. So those,
Okay.
if you just want to refresh yourself, and then you'll be able to see it. Sorry, go ahead.
Right. There's another question. We can write it as a resident or a fellow currently for the question in the chat box. Yeah.
Some of these categories may not fit in well, so see whatever your last category you can qualify for. If not, write down the other sections. We would like to pick up as many as already given categories. Otherwise, just add other and then write down if that doesn't make sense. We know that there are some healthcare IT professionals here today, so you can pick other and then, or maybe just researcher. That'll not be a bad idea.
Yep. Okay, moving on. The next category is age. This should be fairly simple for everyone. Yes. The next one, we have your current link, current address again. So your current city, your current state or province, and then there is your zip codes, if applicable. Okay, we'll pause for everyone to catch up, and I'll hand it over next to Sanya. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Priyal. Before Sanya goes in, so those who are joining in, what we've done so far is we introduce ourselves. We have asked you to clear your browsing history or just open up an incognito tab and then copy paste the link which has been posted. And we'll keep posting it throughout the time in case somebody joins late. And this meeting is being recorded, so those who are watching later on, just watch and follow with this link. Now we are moving into Dr. Mehta just finished showcasing the demographic section, and now is going to be taken over by Sanya and Aman.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Priyal, for walking us through the demographics. So moving on to our very first search. If you can open up a new tab next to the survey and copy paste this search term, weight loss tips, into your preferred browser. And the first question is asking you if there's any sponsored results that appear. An example of a sponsored result is shown on the form. It would be the first one or the first two links that appear that say the word ad next to it. So it would indicate that it is a sponsored result. If you see something that appears like that, please hit yes. And if you did hit yes, can you please copy paste that URL below? And if you don't see that, you can hit no and type in NA. And to copy paste the URL, you could just hover your mouse over the link and directly copy paste from there.
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we including the parenthesis, the apostrophe commas? No, but the results differ because of that. Okay.
Yes, if you could just do the search terms in between the two
Okay.
quotation marks. Thank you. And from the comment section, if the first link says sponsored, that would still be the same. Yes, that would be a sponsored result. Okay, once we've completed the sponsored results section, the next 5 questions are asking us to copy paste the first, second, third, fourth, and fifth non-sponsored URLs. So we'll follow the same process of hovering over and copy pasting the URLs. And if you could please do this for the top 5 results in the order that they appear. And I'm going to showing a demonstration of what I'm explaining on the screen if there's any confusions. And we'll just give everyone another minute or two to finish completing this section. I see a question from Lavanya in the chat. Yes, if the YouTube link appears as the top 5 the top 5 URLs, then you can include that as the link. Whatever appears as your top 5.
Sani, can you summarize what we've done so far?
Yes, so far, for anyone who's joined, we've done an introduction of the project, we've done the demographics section, and here's the link in the chat. We've opened this up in an incognito tab, and then we've gone through the demographics section of the form, and then we've just completed the first search. And Dr. Kashyap has sent the link once again in the survey for anyone who's just joined. Okay, perfect. We can move on to the second search right now. Very similar to the first search, we're going to once again copy paste these terms, treating childhood strabismus, not including the 2 quotation marks, into your preferred browser. And following the same procedure, if you see any sponsored results, please hit yes. And a sponsored result would be one that says the word ad or sponsored it before it. So on Aman's screen, we don't see any sponsored results, so we would hit no. And if you did hit yes, you could copy paste the link of the sponsored result. And if you don't see one, you could hit NA. And then very similar to the previous search, if you could please copy and paste the 5 non-sponsored URLs that appear in the order that they appear.
Aman or Sani, do you want to just mention about the safe search turning off in case they have it turned on? But can we do that before the imaging part of it? Okay, sounds good.
Yes, we'll do that before images. I think Aman can take care of that then. For anyone who's just joined, welcome. Dr. Kashyap has sent the link in the chat for the survey. Please open that up on an incognito tab. And so far, we've finished the demographics section as well as the first search. And we are currently working on the second search, which would be treating childhood strabismus.
Yep, that's it.
Okay, great. When everyone's finished with the top 5 non-sponsored URLs that appear, the last section of this form is asking for any snippets that may appear. So snippets are the search engine's answer to the question that would appear above any links. So an example of a snippet is shown on your survey. And this is what would show up if we searched treating eczema. So everything that begins with skincare at home and ends with when washing or bathing would be considered the snippet. And if you see that, please hit yes. And if a snippet does appear, if you could please copy paste the entire snippet as it appears, as Aman is showing on the screen. And you can copy paste that entire snippet into the following question. If nothing like that appears, you can just hit no and type in NA. And I see a really good question in the chat about including discussion links from Quora or Reddit. Yes, if they do show up as your top 5, please put that link in. We're including anything that would show up in your top 5 links. I see a question.
So, Sanya, I have a question.
Yes.
For the last question, are we changing the search term to eczema, atopic dermatitis or not?
No, I apologize if there's any confusion. We're keeping the treating childhood strabismus. That was just an
Okay.
example of what a snippet would look like.
Perfect.
I see a question about someone's browser having an inbuilt ad blocker. Usually when you go on an incognito tab, all plugins are disabled.
Okay, we'll give everyone one more minute to finish up this search. Okay, great. We can move on to the third search. Hoping everyone is sensing a pattern by now. We're gonna copy paste the terms that are in between the quotation marks here. Top 3 ways I can contribute in the fight against climate change. And you're once again going to copy paste this into the URL space of your browser, your incognito browser. If any sponsored results appear, please indicate that with yes and copy paste that sponsored link. If not, you can once again put no and NA. And once again, you can copy and paste the top 5 non-sponsored URLs that appear. And this would include anything like a YouTube link or a discussion post, whatever comes up as the top 5 links for you. For anyone who's joined late, Dr. Kashyap has just put in the survey link into the chat. Please open that up on an incognito tab. So far, we've finished the demographics section as well as the first 3 searches. And we'll give everyone 1 more minute to finish this, and then Aman will take over for our last 2 searches.
All right, everyone, I'll take over from here. Now we'll move on to the last few searches. We're about halfway done, just to let you all know. And as Sonia said, this is a common trend. We're just gonna copy and paste the search term, this time what's in the quotes. What should I do if I am stressed in your preferred browser?
I'm on the meeting.
So like we said before, if you see any sponsored results, please be sure to note that in there. And if you do see sponsored results, just copy and paste the link as you see it. In my case, I have not seen any sponsored results yet, so I will hit no and NA. And same as last time, I'm sure we're all pros at this now. I bet we're all good at copy and pasting now. So we're just gonna copy and paste the first 5 non-sponsored links. And then once we're done with that, we're just gonna scroll up to the top and see if there's any snippets. Sonia explained earlier, they usually show up right on the top of your search, and there's a small little text box above the link. So in my case, if you want to refer to my screen, I do see one. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just copy and paste what I see. For those who joined late, we're about halfway done with the survey. We are just filling in our search results, and we have about 2 more searches left. The survey link is in the description of the chat box if anybody needs that, and we will move on now. All right, so this search is a little different compared to the last ones we were doing. This time we're going to be doing an image search, and we are going to search the term psoriasis in our browser.
Aman, do you want to explain the safe search part as housekeeping?
So first, we're just going to search the term psoriasis. In our incognito tab, we're going to go to images, and if this applies to you, there may be a safe search feature that may be on or off. So what you're going to do is usually on the sidebar, there'll be something that says safe search. And what you're going to do is instead of blur explicit images, you just want to turn that off, just so you could see what we're looking for. So I'll give everybody a minute to search the term in images. And what I'd like everyone to do is just zoom in or out of your screen so long as you could see at least 5 images in your first row, in your rows. Now what we're going to do is going back to our survey, we're going to see we're going to look at each individual row and note which images show either dark tone skin, as depicted in this image here on the right side, and we're going to note how many images portray medium tone skin. So for reference in mine, I only see one picture that shows dark and medium tone skin. So all I will do is go back to the survey and just write 1 and 1. And you can refer to the sample image we have. Of course, not all pictures will look identical to these. We are just putting these up for reference. Please choose the closest match. And once again, we're just looking at the first row this time. Any questions, please drop them in the chat. Any concerns, we are here to help you out. All right. Next, instead of looking at just the first row, we're going to be looking at the first 3 rows. And what we're going to do is say the predominant skin tone represented, predominant meaning at least 50%. So if you want to refer to my screen, I see primarily lighter skin tone represented in all 3 of my rows. So I will put that into my survey results. And if there's any confusion, you can look up at the sample reference image we put earlier.
Aman, can you please summarize what you've done so far from the start to finish? It started now.
Absolutely. So what we did is we did a Google image search or just a browser image search of the term psoriasis. We did it in without the safe search option, just so that any images are unblurred. We first looked at the first row of images to see if there were any dark or medium skin tones represented. After that, we did a generalization of the first 3 rows and said which skin tone was predominantly represented.
And can you show the zoom in, zoom out function, how you would do it from the side,
Yes.
side of the
If
column?
anybody only sees like 2 or 3 images, you can control your zoom level by hitting Control and then hitting the plus or minus sign. So we want to ensure that you can see at least 5 images in each row. If you're not familiar with the keybinds, you can also just go to the settings icon, usually on the top right of your browser, and there's an option to change the zoom, as you can see on my screen here. If there's no further questions, we can move on to the last search option, which will be taken over by Dr. Kashyap.
Thank you, Aman. I think it's gonna be time for yes. So this is pretty cool. I'm excited about it. What I like you guys all to do is, if you have ever used any large language model, ChatGPT, Bard, Bing, or Palm, or anything else as well, this is your time to log into that. In this regard. So we're talking about if you ever used any ChatGPT, large language model, if you have access to some of these unpaid or paid versions, please do log in. Use your login ID and password to do so. If you have not done that, the Bard AI or a Bing AI or Bard AI is free, and then Aman is opening it up. You just type it in Bard AI in your browser, and then whatever the first version comes out of it, you click on it, and then you don't have to have any login. You just say, oh, I don't know if it's asking you to sign in. Yesterday it did not. So if you have to sign in, you can use your Gmail ID or whatever ID as well, and then do so. When we checked it yesterday, it just let us in. Can you try Bing AI, Aman, and see if it doesn't require any signing in for that matter. So whatever version you have used in the past, you can open it up. We don't want you to make a new leftmost. Says the new creative one. Can you click on the conversation style on new creative one? This one. So yes. So if it is asking you to make a new ID, if you don't want to, you don't have to do it. Just use the Bing AI on the left hand side and use the most creative version. What we're doing is we are trying to put a search term or command into these large language models, where you copy paste exactly to either ChatGPT, Bing, Bard, or any of your previously utilized large language models. And if you have not used it, you can come to either Bard or Bing, which should not let you do any login process, and then come to this point. Now go back to the survey. It's asking you to copy paste. Don't copy paste the parent, what you call them as inverted commas. Just use the word top 10 healthcare 2040 challenges, or you can type it in. We prefer you to just copy paste this into the chat box there, and then hit search. And then if you're using Bing AI, then use the creative one, and then that should be good enough. Hit the search bar. It should take you some time. It should ask you more questions. If in Bing AI they're asking you questions, it should give you the information what we are asking for. Don't worry about any citations and things like that coming in. Give it a few seconds. And those who are trying to log into LLM, by all means, just use your login ID password and then use it for the first time and whatnot. We will give you enough time. As you would see that Aman is doing in Bing AI, and it's correcting these things. Our goal is to keep the same search term. After that, if you take extra steps, you can do it as well. But whatever your final result will come out of it, we would like you to copy paste from start to finish and put them into the Google form which you are filling in. So take your time to log into any of your preferred large language models, ChatGPT 3.5, Bing, Bard, Palm, or anything else you have used in the past. If you have not done that, just come to any free version. We are showing you a Bing AI, which is free. At least it depends on your institution's access, and sometimes you might have to log in there as well. So just be conscious of that fact. Whenever your search results come out from top to finish, you can actually include everything from that matter. Come back to your Google form. Copy and paste it in the form here, and that should look like this. And that is it. That ends this particular section. So those who are joining so far, what we have done is in last 30 to 35 minutes, we introduce our team. We walk through the instructions of using your incognito tab, which you can open up. Then we ask you to copy paste the link which we put. Sorry, I lost my connection for a second. So those are joining in. I was saying that as we put down the information about how to join incognito session, you have the access to the link, Google form link. You open that into cognito fashion. We went through with your demographic informations. Then we went through the initial search criteria, which is these are pretty intuitive what we're asking you to do for search for these different things. If you have any sponsor search, copy paste that link. If you have your top non-sponsor search, put down those links as well. And then some questions we're asking you to type in the snippet you are finding it. Then second last search we went through with image to see if there is a bias in terms of skin color, and then follow those instructions. And this one, we ask you to use any of your favorite LLM, large language learning model, uh, either ChatGPT or anything else. If not, using the Bing AI or anything else which is free, or you can easily go in there to copy and paste that particular search term. If you go up, Aman, the search term was top 10 challenges, health challenges in healthcare 2040 challenges. Just copy paste that part, not the inverted commas, and then whatever your results come out of it, copy paste from start to finish in those results. Okay. Now for next section, I will invite Dr. Parthe to take over and then explain to you what we'll be doing it. Somebody should remind Dr. Parthe that he should unmute himself.
Thank you so much. Hey, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us and sticking with us so far. So we are right to the end, the conclusion part. For this, we need a couple of things and hardly a minute left for the survey. So for those who are left filling the previous part, the LLM part, I know it takes time. So do take a minute. And for those who are up here to the feed, let's start with our email ID. Now, why do we need this? We need this for the collaborative authorship credits. Dr. Kashyap will explain this at the end. So for those who are interested in further collaborations, this is the place where you put your email ID down, and we would contact you for that. The next would be, would you like to be contacted for future GRRSP studies? We are a research group, a global remote research group. And if you're interested for further collaborations, more papers and more such projects, this is the place where you hit yes, and we get together for many such projects in future. And lastly, the next question, do you agree there will be bias seen in the search results? Well, this is the very basis, as Dr. Kashyap mentioned, why are we here today on this Saturday morning, is to see if there are any bias depending on which IP or which part of the world you're logging in from. So if you do believe that there is one, please select the option that you feel suits best, agree, disagree, neutral, whichever one that you agree strongly with. The next question would be the reason for the potential bias. Why do you think there will be? Just give it a second, a simple thought, and just think what you feel would be the reason for those biases. Could it be the search engine that is making the difference? Mozilla Firefox, a Chrome, a Safari? Would it be your gender, your age, your location? Or could it be the local government policy? Whichever you feel fits the best, tick that box. Or if it's something else, just tick other and write in your option that you feel fits best in this. And lastly, the most important part for us who are conducting this research would be your feedback on the design, content, or the conduct of how we have went through this 40-minute session. Any feedback from your side is highly appreciated. Thank you so much for joining us today. I would like to give it back to Dr. Kashyap for discussing any further Q&As and shedding a little bit more light on the collaborative co-authorship part.
Thank you, Dr. Parthe, and thank you so much for all who stayed with us for last 40-45 minutes. I would like to invite our lead authors, Aman, Tanya, Dr. Both of them, they have led these projects. I would like to invite other faculty members, including and you can unshare it, Aman, if you want. Other faculty members to answer some questions. This meeting is being recorded, so please let us know if you can ask any questions, provide a feedback, and anything which could help others in conducting such studies. And if you're not comfortable asking question when it is recorded, we'll be happy to unrecord it too as well. So for now, we are going into Q&A sessions in terms of asking or collaborative authorship and things like that. So we will stop the recording. But before I stop that, so idea is that You all have spent your time helping us do this pilot. We want to test out the feasibility of such studies and things like that. This has not been tried. Our hope was to have 100 plus people, but right now I think we hit the roughly target of 55 from like 15 different countries, so which is a big success still. In terms of your participation and helping out with this, we are asking for your email ID. There is no anonymity of this question. You signing up and saying that we can use the data, what we are learning from it for research purposes. We anticipate to have at least one full-blown manuscript out of it, and probably a chance of writing a method method paper as well, that the instructions and methodology of doing some of those things. Of course, these questions are not validated, so we're not looking into validated tool. Collaborative authorship are such that you're not part of writing group. Your contribution is qualified and good enough to be listed you in appendix as a collaborative co-author, and it shows up in your credit in Google Scholar and ResearchGate. So for all academic promotions, for the CV purposes and so on and so forth, collaborative authorship counts to as a main authorship as well. So those who are worked with us in the past, if you publish a first author paper before, you are welcome to join us. Send us an email. You have your grrspofficial@gmail.com. Aman and Sanya can write up their email IDs in the chat box. Reach out to them, and then they'll be happy to assess and evaluate and interview you to see if you could be part of the writing group as we have it. We will not be planning to write multiple papers out of this pilot project, maybe one or maybe total two, including the method paper. So reach out to us. Goal is if you have written a first author paper already, that means you qualified. Otherwise, we probably still keep you in the collaborative authorship and may not include you into the main author group. Once you're part of a main author group, there'll be certain deadlines, and then as you follow under the direction from Aman and Sanya, you'll be very well author based on the work you have been done. So I'll stop the recording now and then see if we can take questions from any of you who are here today who help us today.